Hello everybody, here we are, and finally it's time to restart this uh, working on the project. We worked on this yesterday, and hopefully today chat section, that was the remaining one, that's gonna be the logic for that is going to be written, and then let's see what's gonna be happening after that. So overall, the main part is gonna be done today itself, and as for the remaining things, we will be thinking of what needs to be done later. So coming back to this one, video calling, meet app, and let's simply open this. And meanwhile, let me check the status of the live as well. So coming back to this one, live, and I think within a couple of days it's gonna be completed. I mean, the whole project will be done, and after that we will be switching to the next one, and that is mainly gonna be an active project. So this is how things are gonna be going on, and apart from this particular thing, let me just simply turn it off, and overall things are fine. Am I audible? Hello, hello, hello. So this is how things, yeah, fine. So coming back to this, I was mainly working on this particular section here. First of all, let me run the project, turbo dev. Okay, it is definitely gonna be taking, restarting takes time, sometime, and then compilation happens. So let it work on in the background. And apart from this particular thing, what was I working on yesterday? I was mainly working with this thing. And what do we have to do? That first of all, we have to get the input like files. Once we get the files, after that we have to convert them into the form data format. And once I have converted them into the form data format, then I have to send it to the backend. So this is how it should be. So mostly images are sent using the forms, and that is why we need to convert it to the form data. If I just simply make how to send images using React to backend, so should definitely be getting uploading images from React to front end to Express backend, and we'll definitely be getting this multi-disk storage. That is fine. Apart from this particular thing, let's talk about the front end one. When it comes to the front end, so yeah, you do create a new form data. You just simply loop through that everything, and once that is done, then you just simply make a request to the database, and ultimately things file goes with the request, and that is just simply stored in the database. So this is what the same thing we are gonna be doing. Coming back to this, has it started running? It's starting, right? So meanwhile, let me do one thing. Let me open the project as localhost 3000. Hopefully it will start compiling this stuff. Alrighty, I think that's gonna be even taking more time. Coming back to this one. So first of all, we will be getting the data from the button, input. So I have this input box over here. Except .jpg, it is only accepting .jpg, and in our case we will be accepting everything. We are gonna be accepting multiple ones. On change, handle file change, and once this is done, so let me go to this on change section, event.target.files. I'm gonna be getting the files, and the file is gonna be set to this particular section. So this is how I will get the file. And once I got the file, having said that, not only file, they can be more than one files as well. So it's better to just simply name that files, and after that, whenever I click on submit, I will just create a new form data, and file.length, ultimately there can be more than one file, so I'm gonna be looping through that, and this file itself is gonna be sort of what, it's gonna be file list if I'm not wrong. So I'll have to loop through that, and data.append, whatever data I got, I will be appending file. Again, I will be naming it files here, and I'm gonna get the value of that. And once I got the value of that, ultimately once I have the data, I'm gonna be just simply sending the data. So it's quite simple and straightforward. Okay, this is done. Coming back to this one, it actually looks like this usually, and that's even fine, but for now I'm gonna be just simply zooming it a bit, and meeting/1234, let me go here, enter the name VIP. I'll have to, oh, it works in one go, that's great. And right now what I have to do, maybe I should be able to turn the camera on. Well, I'm not, because there is no camera as such. So let me open Iron webcam, and for this thing I have to turn it on my mobile. Just a sec. What's wrong with this? Why does it get turned off? Alrighty, done. Iron webcam, where is that? Here it is. So hopefully it should be connected now. Yep, it is. Alrighty then, let's keep the things like this. Should be enough for now. Yeah. Coming back to this is just the camera of the mobile, nothing else. Okay, so if I reload the page, just enter the name, and now I'm getting the option for the video as well, so I can just simply zoom it. Usually this is how it looks like, and that's not quite bad. I can even turn on the mic, but okay, that does. This is bad. Whenever I turn on and off the mic, at that time it flicking thing happens here. How can I fix this? Okay, I can fix this later. That's not really a big problem for now. Coming back to this, I can simply stop it, and I can start sharing the screen. Stop it as well. Start recording the screen. So this way screen is going to be recorded. Stop it. Enter the name FDS. Check this thing out. So this way screen is going to be done. Chat option. This is what we have to work on. And as for meeting, that's okay. We are able to turn the camera on from here as well. Turn the mic on. So these things are working right now. Let's simply work on this particular feature. So when working on this particular feature, first of all I have to get the files, right? So let's work on that particular functionality. So we are inside the chat input box, and I have this chat input and the button for just simply sending that. So first of all, I'm going to, before even that, const handle input change, because of course I will be I will be selecting the images and all. So when it is done, I will be getting the event, and once I get the event, this is how it's gonna be going on. And of course I have to mention the type of the image too, but before that, Control C, and let's not have any value here. Okay, I need to have the value here, mainly talking about this particular section. So the input box is gonna be hidden by default. I'm gonna be having on click event here, on, not on click, actually on change event. So whenever the value of this changes, handle input change should be triggered, or even better, it can be handle file input change. So handle file input change, just like this. Apart from this particular thing, I need to be back here, and this is gonna be change event, will be coming from React, and I think it is not generic, so HTML input element. Oh no, it works. Okay, coming back to this CLG event dot target dot files, I'm gonna be getting the files, and let's exactly see what I'm gonna be getting here. Okay, pretty simple. Coming back to this one, reload the page, enter the name, click on the chat box, click on this input box, select some PDF, video, SVG and image. As I selected them, so I'm getting file list over here, and in file list what happens, you can just simply look through that. So if I have this file list, so let me do one thing. I can definitely get the length of the file list to say CLG event dot target dot files dot length, and what is the issue? It may possibly be null. So let me cut it from here. Const files that's actually gonna be equals to file list. And let's do one thing, let's know more about file lists. So file list in JS, file list web API. So file list interface represents an object of type returned by the files property. So whatever we get from here, we get it in the format of file list. We have to just simply look through that. We can definitely look through that. And instance, the properties are length. We can get the length. We can get the items. So instance method item. So I can just simply say that files.item, and I will be getting all the items. So ultimately, file input dot files. Once I got the file, I'm gonna be getting the file from here. Okay, I'm using off, so this const of works here. Okay, that's fine. So that's great. That's what I actually wanted. I wanted to get the value of the file, and I do get that. Simply said, const for of file is gonna be equals to event dot target dot sorry, files over here. And again, the value of this can actually be what, null. So let me make it like this, files is gonna be equals to this. And if I don't have files, ultimately in that case I will be returning from here. And if I have it, then okay, no need to worry about anything. So I'm gonna be having files here. It's like this. Once I have this, so I'm gonna be logging the value of the file. And at the end of the day, this is file. This is the value that I have to add it to the form data. Let's see whether I get it or not. Coming back to this right now, I will be selecting it again. So let's click on this. Select a few things. It doesn't really matter what you are selecting. And now I'm getting the info, income certificate, I mean whatever I had learned, how logo with PNG. So ultimately everything is being uploaded over here. I'm getting the right value of that. Interesting. What is the next thing that I can do? The next thing that if I have the value of files, in that case const files and set files, that's actually gonna be use state, and it will have the value of what, file list. The type is gonna be file list. And what is the file list? Is an object? Nope, this is not an object. This way it's gonna be fine, right? So the file list is gonna be the type over here. And if I actually have the files, in that case, so set files, and in that case I'm gonna be just simply adding the files over here. So this much I've done whenever the value is actually changed. Once I have the value of files, and after that I can just simply use this. Okay. Coming back to this, whenever I click on the submit button, right, even not only that, I have to get one more thing, that's gonna be message. So const message, set message, just like this, use state. And this is nothing but gonna be a string, and the type itself is going to be a string. And const handle message input change, I think this should be enough. And event event dot, what is the type? Type is gonna be change event on HTML input element, I mean that's the same. Once this is done, then set message event dot target dot value, right? So this is how I will be going ahead. As for this one, let's simply copy it from here, and on change I'm gonna be pasting the value over here. So this thing I've also done. What is the next thing? The next thing is that changing the value over here. So value is gonna be nothing but message here. So the same value is going to be over here, send message. And apart from this particular thing, I've done with these two things. The last thing that I have, that is handle send button. So const handle send, just like this. And this is gonna be just a normal function. Of course I'll make it async. and the main goal is gonna be sending the message there. But before that, I'm gonna be logging. So console.log, I'm gonna be logging the value of message, and the console.log, I'm gonna be logging the value of the files. And not only that, clg files.length, clg files.item, clg files. Well, symbol is not gonna be used. Cut. How about this one? An argument for index was not provided, so it needs an index, right? So let me give it the 0th index. So item simply gives me the item at the 0th index. Let's see how it's gonna be going on. Alright everybody, here we are back, and let's continue from here on. So what I was saying here, coming back to this section, I'm gonna be just simply logging the values here. So let's simply click on chat, click on this, select some of the things. Okay, that's interesting. I can select these. Once I have selected them, let's simply click on open, and have some message. So these things are for you, and let's simply click on send. Well, it doesn't work because I think handle send is not being used. Over here on click, I'm gonna be sending it. So this way it should be working. I will have to just redo it, or most probably it will work directly. So I got my files. Inside my files I have docker desktop deb, this particular file. Then I got the length of that. The length was around 8. Then I got the item using the 0th index. So this way we even get the item. Interesting. And it's time to we can easily look through that, so we don't even need to worry about it. So yeah, it is working. How about the message? This is for these things are for you. I'm even getting the message over here. So yeah, it is working, right? What is the next thing? The next thing is that I have to send it to the backend. So ultimately what I have to do, just in here, once I've done all these things, at that time I have my files, I have my message, and once I have both the things, I have to send a message to the database, not even database, backend of course, and I have to just simply upload these images and get the URL. I don't even need the message here when it comes to handle send. No, I need the message here. So ultimately this handle send should be sending the message to the WebSocket server. Send the message to the WebSocket server, and that's it. This is the main job of this gonna be. But before even that, whenever we are handling the input change, at that time what we'll do, we will set the files. Is that even needed? Setting the files, this is not quite needed. Why? And even I'm setting the files, so those files should contain proper URL, and that will not be the type of flat list now anymore. That is just gonna be normal array. Coming back to this one, let me get rid of this, and what I'll do here, send a request to the backend and save the images. So this is what I'm gonna be doing here. The question is, I'm not using any Express server, so file upload, how will that be used on Next.js? Let's see. Coming back to this one, let me collapse everything. Apps, web app, API. Inside API, I'm already handling authentication part, and inside app API, and auth is already handled. let me go to the main one, and that is what should be the URL over here. First of all, let me make it like this. This is mainly gonna be for what? Chat. So whatever related to chat is gonna be here inside this. And the next thing is that right now I mainly wanna upload the images. So API and then the remaining things. I can even have V1 over here, but that doesn't make sense. So chat, and apart from this particular chat, the URL is gonna be somewhat like this: API slash upload, API slash file slash upload. This is how it should be. Or even if that is a post request, so upload doesn't really make any difference. So API slash files, if that is a post request, it will be just simply responsible for uploading it. So inside chat I will have another folder that is called files, and inside files I'll have route.ts, just like this. And here it's time to create the routes. The question is that how the routes are created. So how do we handle everything inside Next.js? So route in Next.js, I think routes in Next.js, defining routes. So this is how now route is just a normal function that just simply talks to the database directly. This is the page.tsx. So dashboard slash settings, okay, that's fine. Coming back to this one, route handlers and export async get a function request. So this is how I'm gonna be creating that. Okay, this is mainly gonna be a post request, so let me make it like this: export async function. This is actually gonna be a post request, and a request is gonna be equals to request, just like this. And hopefully this does the job. And once this is done, then I will be just simply sending a response over here, and I can even send the data with this, and the data is gonna be await response data, and I'm gonna be just simply sending the response. So this is how things are handled, right? The question is how will I getting the body? So I have this get request. Okay, let's go ahead. So get request, you can get the, you have a request over here. So from the request you can get the URL using the URL. So new URL will contain the request.url, and then from there, and then you can get the real ones. Okay, got it. Apart from this particular thing, you can make a request to the database, not database. This route.ts is actually making a request to another another backend. But okay, we have to make a request to the database directly from here, and then we are gonna be getting the result. When it comes to post, so over here we have app items route.ts, and again we are making a request. How do we get the body here? So response.json, okay. Cookies, this is how we get the cookies. So whatever the cookies are sent here, we get them directly. Okay, apart from this particular thing, request cookies get token. Okay, fine. Headers, we can get the headers as well, and headers request.headers, there are many ways. Fine. We can even get the slug. That is fine, that does the job. Slugs work both the ways. Mainly I'm worried about this request body, so let's simply keep going through them one by one. Second one is the search params. This is how request dot next URL search params. There are two ways to get the search params. That's interesting. And apart from this particular thing, request await request.json. So ultimately this is how you get the body, and from here you will be getting the messages. So this is fine. Coming back to this one, apart from streaming, I have this body related stuff, and ultimately body is just received like this only, and once I have the request.body, request.body form data. So even we are converting it to the form data, we don't really have to do it anyway, because from here we can talk to the database directly, and as we can talk to the database directly, so we don't need to create it. But yeah, it's better to just simply have it, and that's it, nothing else. So what else? What other option I have? API route.ts. I have something called course. So access control allow it. All of them are gonna be allowed. Get post options. Access control allow headers content type authorization. Add edge and Node.js runtime. So export const runtime edge. Node.js is the default. Edge. When is this useful? Route handlers have an isomorphic web API to support both Edge and Node.js. Edge in the sense maybe when it is running serverless runtime seamlessly, including support for streaming. Since route handlers use the same route segment configuration as pages and layouts, they support long-awaited features like general purposes statically regenerated route handlers. You can use the runtime this. When do we use this? Coming back to this one, when do we use this? In Next.js route handlers, this line tells Next.js where code should run. So by default, Next.js runs the code in Node.js runtime, but you can change it to the Edge runtime. Default Node.js runtime, if you do nothing, Next.js uses Node.js, or simply nothing because it's the default. When Node.js runtime is used, when use it when you need Node.js APIs or logic, such as using node libraries, accessing file system, using native modules, using database drivers that depend on node, running long or heavy computation. So at that time, this cannot run in Edge runtime because Edge does not support node APIs. So when you write this, the code runs on Edge servers, CDNs and nodes around the world instead of central node server. So when you use runtime, I mean this is time, Edge runtime, use it for very fast responses to authentication checks, middleware, geo-based responses, A/B testing, simple APIs, lightweight logic. So this way we can use it. This runs on servers close to the user, faster response. So ultimately CDNs. Real example can be Edge request headers token authorization, checking and then returning the response. Fast because it runs near the user. Database access, better for node runtime. Okay, fine. So coming back to this particular section, I will be getting request here, and once I have the request, so I even have to get the body. So const body is gonna be equals to await request dot JSON. Once I have this CLG, I'm gonna be logging the body. Of course, this is the route, kind of the backend part, and this will be this particular section will be handled on the server side. So we are creating our backend API. Everything inside API is the code of the backend, and we can talk to the backend directly. Okay. So ultimately, if I send a request to the API/files in the post request, I should be getting this. Let's see whether I get that or not. Again, I need to send the file as well. Not sure whether I will get that. So body, because I'm not gonna be sending any file from the postman side. So let me send right now, or probably I will be sending to. So this is how I will be getting the response. So the data that I send, that will contain the files. Data in the files format. Can I get it directly? I mean, is there something called file as well? No. How to get the files in JSON? I don't know. I mean in Next.js, http://localhost 3000/API/files. This is gonna be a post request, and let's simply send it from here. I'm getting one internal server error. But hopefully it is running. API files, right? Coming back to this one, API/files. So the post request on API/files route.ts. What is the problem? No problem, because I'm getting that. No response was returned. That was the only issue. So I'm getting the result. Okay, how about when I add the files here? How will I handle them? So coming back to this one, instead of sending this, if I send the form data, so instead of sending JSON, what data will it contain? It will contain a file, and name is gonna be image, or just name it files, it doesn't really matter, files. And I'm gonna be selecting a file from here, downloads. Let me select this admission form, upload it here. Okay, so this particular thing is done. And now if I make a request, what will happen? I'm not going to get anything. So files on Next.js, getting started, project structures. No, this one actually, route handlers. When it comes to this, so routing complex resolution will cache. Page runtime, okay. File system conventions, default. This is mainly for design, kind of layouting the front end part. Functions, after cookie, fetch forbidden headers. These are the functions that I have, right? In that case, path name, use links, use tag, refresh not found, response, request headers. Got it. Configuration, nothing. CLI, nothing. Edge. As runtime, it mainly runs on CDN. So Next.js has 2 server runtimes. You can use in your application. By the way, how to get files in the body in Next.js router. How to access request body in Next.js. So request body json.parse. Await response now contains body JSON format. But what if I'm sending the images? In that case, the thing is that if I were using Next.js ultimately, not Next.js Express, I could have used Multer, I could have used file upload. But here, what is the way? I can get the text. Okay. Functions use router. Reading the body. File upload in Next.js router. That's what I wanted. So a short and practical article showing one way you can upload and store the files in this Next.js. Okay. So what was that? Never mind. So what we are building, API. We are using Supabase over here, and request.form data. We are gonna be getting the form data like this. Interesting. So we can directly get the form data. Once we get the form data, after that form data dot get all, and files as file, I already have the type file over here. Remember to enforce type here after use some label like Zod JSA to check. console files, I'm gonna be just simply logging the value over here. Once the value is actually logged, so simply said I can get the data and file storage, and then once I have the file, so file to storage, and I'm gonna be just simply superbase storage from this bucket name, upload this particular file to storage, and this will be stored and files are created if I'm using superbase. Then what am I returning from here? I'm returning the message, and interesting. Okay, so got the idea. It should be done like this. That simply said form data append. I already have the data.files. This is how it should be going on. Why did I click on that? Okay, coming back to this one. What should I actually do here? Something called form data. So if I use form data over here, then I should be getting the files in the body. Let's see. Coming back to this one again, I'm gonna be sending it. Once I send this on my backend, I am getting this body, and that contains form data. Ultimately it contains size, application / PDF, admission form, and this. So ultimately this contains this much, and is containing this much enough. Of course I'm not returning response. So how do we return the response here in Next.js? Return response.json process successfully, and let me send it again. So I will be getting here process successfully, and okay, even if I'm able to send the image directly over there, that's actually a good stuff. Next.js supports it directly, but getting the image and saving it is a different thing. That simply means I have to save the image inside public. Okay, by the way, once I get the image, do I really need to save it, or I can directly upload it? How do we upload it on Superbase? Here, get this. So you will be getting the name, size, and other properties. Once you get that, files.0 is gonna be the file storage, and then file storage.name. So using the name, you can just simply store it. So name will contain the file. Interesting. Okay, so we will be able to do this, and it's better to just simply upload it from here on. So simply means I have the body. Body contains what? Body contains the file, and body contains actually files. So I can just simply say const files are gonna be equals to body.files. Okay, so form data files, and then it has this particular file. How about when I upload many files at the same time? Let me check the value of that too. So body, when I upload a single file, it looks like this. When I upload multiple ones, maybe one more, the name is gonna be same, files, and gonna be sending a file from here. Upload a new one, that's gonna be logo png. I said just upload it. Okay, let me upload it here. Retry. What? There was issue with uploading the files to the team. Logo png. Okay, let me replace it. I think I don't need to write the same name again. Rather, I can just simply add more files here in this particular section. Got it. Let me add it here. So now that's gonna be added for sure. Again the problem. Interesting. Let me select something else. Maybe this particular video. Upload it. So ultimately 2 files are there. That's been uploaded. Great. If I send the value, send the request again, what will happen? So over here what is happening, this files is an array, and what is the type of this files, I'll have to check that. So ultimately body is the object that contains files, and this is how it just simply goes on. Okay, so object request dot form data, I got the body, and const files is gonna be equals to body dot files, and files does not exist on form data, await. So it is just simply saying that files does not exist on this, so dot get files, or probably files, because body is an object, so it doesn't work either. In that case I have only one option, body dot get and files. And let me check this thing, form data in Next.js, guides forms, form data. So what is happening, this is the event dot contact, not this one. I'm creating this form data here, control K, form data, page runtime form data, how to implement authentication in Next.js event form data, use router, how to get forms with the API routes forms. How about this? So sign up form, server action, form validation, then data request, authentication, session management. Okay, let it go on. The important thing is this never mind, somewhere or the other I will definitely see that. As for now I'm not getting that anymore. Okay, as for this file I should be getting the list of all the files here, and once I'm getting that I'm gonna be logging the type of files as well. Exactly, it should be probably file list if I'm not wrong, but let's see. So once I've done this much it will restart it again, and that's a good thing. And okay, let's simply make a request again. Once we made the request again, I'm getting the file. There is only video. Okay, just a sec. Files, then type, just like this. Apart from this particular thing, CLG body is gonna be equals to body. Gonna be sending it again, send it, and first of all I have this body, files and all like this. Then just the file, that simply means the first one. The second one I'm not getting. So when I say this particular stuff here, body.get file, so ultimately I'm gonna be getting only one file. Really? So how to get them all? Files, and then file, I'm getting only this particular file, not the another one. But even before that, when I got this, so I'm getting both of them, and this time that is not even an array, just an object. Oh, both of them have the same name, is that so? What if I want to upload multiple ones and I want to access them all? So I should be getting them here under files. Okay, let me do one thing. Come back here. I think, yeah, form data, whatever data that I get. If I just simply write file, so I will get all, I mean if I write get file, so I will be getting only one, and for getting all of them I'll have to write get all, and then I will be getting it. Okay, let's do that too. So by the way, this is gonna be body, or even better, form data. Once I have this form data here, instead of getting one, I'm gonna be getting all. That was missing if I'm not wrong. Coming back to this, send, and here I'm getting the files, two files separately, and the previous ones. Got it. So I'm getting my files here. Apart from it, the type is actually object. So type of files that I'm getting, that is the object, and the files is nothing but the array. So array is the object. Fine, I can definitely look through it. So once I've done this much, what is the next thing? Once I have got my files, then the next thing is just simply uploading it to S3, and I can upload it using the name. So for now I can just simply say I can look through it because this is an array. So for of files, let me name it this, clg file dot name. Name does not exist on type string, so let me make it as the file of this. So right now, that is why I was asked to just simply have the type over here as well. Interesting. So let me see it now. Let me send it again. Coming back to this one, at last I'm getting this as well as this. So quite good stuff. What is the next thing that I have to do? The next thing that I have to do, just a minute, give me a moment, I'll be back. Alrighty. Oh, I'm facing the network issue. Is that so? For what reason? It should ideally not happen. Okay. Coming back to this. So I just wanted to get the names. I'm getting the names. And using the names, now what is the next thing? Uploading it on S3. How can we do that? That is something yet to be seen. I've never used a S3 storage from AWS, so that is something I will have to know more about. This is just simply using Supabase over here, and using the Supabase, it got the file storage. Ultimately, from the files, it got it using the 0th index. That is great. Once it got is using the 0th index, after that, some path file storage dot name. So this thing is done. And S3 bucket, I think I need to create the bucket over there as well inside AWS. File storage dot name, and then file storage. So I have to give it all as well as the name. So specify the path, give it the whole object. Content type is gonna be this. Just a minute, hang on a sec. Alrighty, let's go ahead. There's something flying around me, so I just wanted to see that, but I'm not able to see that. Never mind. Continue to this particular thing. Let me go to AWS for now, and that's of course this one. I'll have to sign in again. Let's do that. Don't have sign in as user, as root user. Okay, email. Enter the password. Of course, I'll have to enter the code as well. Code. Okay, MFA. And that's gonna be this. Alrighty, here we are. Okay, so once we've done this, let me go to what? Let me go to the home page. I have to go with S3 storage this time. And the thing is that I even have to know how to use that. So ultimately we will be using SDK, but I've never used this. That's gonna be interesting. Create bucket. General purposes, yeah, and bucket name. That's gonna be video what Google meeting app bucket. This should be it. And apart from this particular thing, I don't really need to worry about anything else, right? Yeah, hopefully this is how the bucket is gonna be created. So okay, let's simply click on create a bucket. Failed to create bucket. I'm on with the queue. Why? Why did it fail to create the bucket? Bucket name making app bucket. Choose bucket. Copy settings from the existing one. Object ownership. Block all the IP access, public app access. Bucket versioning. And then default inscription. Bucket key. The request bucket name is not available. The requested bucket name is not available. The bucket namespace is shared by all users. Bucket name must also begin with this letter, period, and all. The bucket namespace is shared by all users of the system. Please select a different name and try again. Meeting app bucket not possible. Okay, so meeting app create. Okay, again getting it. To make your bucket unique, try adding the ID. Okay, meeting app bucket 999. How about this? Oh, finally it's created. What is the next thing? I don't know why I did this 999 at the end, but okay, it's been created now. Let's click on this. Now I'm inside the bucket, and once I'm inside the bucket, I have to upload the things here. Copy URI. I don't have the URL here. Of course, because I have nothing here, that is why I don't have the URL. I cannot even access anything from here directly. That's right. If I actually want to access anything, so what should I be doing, bro? Even if I upload something here, like this one is gonna be, let me upload something, add files, and suppose I upload this logo here. Let me click on upload and it should be uploaded. So I have uploaded this here, logo PNG. So close this. Here I am. If I select this, I will get the URL, copy the URL. If I paste the URL here, well, I'm not getting anything. Whew. Open. This is the URL. So ultimately in the response I should be getting this URL, and using this URL I should be getting it back to a copy URL. Let me paste it here. Access is denied. I'm gonna take the help of AI here, because of course I have no idea exactly. If I am using S3 for storage, for storing the images, how to get the URL, because I've restricted public access. Thinking, it will keep thinking. If your Amazon S3 bucket has public access blocked, the object inside it cannot be accessed directly through the normal S3 URL. In this case, you usually do one of these. Generate pre-signed URL, most common. A pre-signed URL allows temporary access to private files. Image stored in Amazon S3. Your backend server generates a temporary URL. The client uses that URL to access the image. Example, using AWS SDK for JavaScript in Node.js. So what will happen? New S3, again you will have to download AWS SDK client and all. And once that is done, then you have to get a signed URL. AWS S3 request to please sign up. So new S3 region, and then bucket specify the key images photo.png, URL S3 command expire scene. This URL will work for 1 hour. Good for private images. So there is this use cloud front signed URLs. So you can put Amazon CloudFront in for S3. So user CloudFront S3 private. Then generate signed CloudFront backend proxy Lex common. How do people usually use S3 for storing the images? Do they block the public access? Oh yes, most production systems block public access to S3 buckets. Direct public buckets are usually avoided because of security and cost risks, but how images are served depends on the use case. Most common production setup: private S3 plus CDN. Services involved Amazon S3, Amazon CloudFront. Architecture: user goes to the CloudFront. CloudFront requests the S3 private buckets, and this is how it goes. So images stored in private S3 bucket, public access blocked. CloudFront sits in front. CloudFront fetches images from S3. Users load images via CloudFront URL. Okay, so benefits: S3 remains private, fast. This reduces S3 cost and better. This is the most professional setup. S3 plus pre-signed URLs, common for user-specific content. CloudFront. So let me go with this. Guide me with this setup. So I'll guide you through this. So user cloud setup. Service used Amazon S3 cloud. So this is used in real production apps because the bucket stays private, but the images are still publicly accessible via CDN. So create S3 bucket. Go to AWS S3. Okay, bucket name, region, important settings. Block all public access on. Okay, upload an image. Done. If you try to S3 URL, will get access denied. Correct. Create CloudFront distribution. So go to CloudFront, origin settings, origin S3 bucket, origin type S3. Select origin access control OAC. This allows CloudFront to access private S3. Attach policy. So CloudFront will generate a bucket policy, just like this. So S3 bucket permission bucket policy. Okay. This allows CloudFront to read as S3. Users cannot access S3. Access image through CloudFront. So CloudFront gives you domain like this. Your image URL becomes slash images slash profile.png. So now user CloudFront and S3. Custom domain. You can use your own cdn.yourdomain.com. This requires Amazon route S3 and Amazon certificate. Uploading images from backend typical flow. Your backend node just uploads images to S3. Uploads user profile.png. You store the key in the database. You store the key in your database. Uploads users 123 profile.png. Then frontend loads this. Alrighty, let's give it a try. So I already have my S3. Let's search CloudFront. CloudFront. Let's see how it's gonna be going on. I already had one. I can disable it if I'm not wrong. Delete it. Distribution name. Meeting files. So meeting files distribution. This way should be fine, right? Usually it does distribute that. Yeah, just a sec, give me a moment. Okay, coming back to this one, meeting files distribution. This is the name of the distribution. Site website, multi-tenant. Choose each file website or application will have multiple unique configuration. Okay, what will I be? Route S3 managed domain optional. Route S3 managed domain. S3 managed domain. How about this? Coding the code dot site. Check domain now. Enter a domain that's already registered with route S3 in your AWS account. CloudFront will you need this. You need to add this later. You can still configure distribution, but CloudFront can't automatically configure the domain. It might be registered in route S3 in another AWS account. Okay, got it. I will need to configure it later, not really a big problem. Skip domain setup would be better for now. Let's simply skip it. Amazon S3 Elastic Load Balancer API Gateway. This Amazon S3 origin. Browse S3. I'm gonna be selecting this one. Oh, I haven't created any folder inside S3, never mind. Path is gonna be just normal one, no problem. Allow private S3 bucket access to CloudFront recommended. Okay, let's click on next. Enable this. Next. And create the distribution if I'm not wrong. So now I should be able to access the what? I should be able to access. I will tell you what. Let me copy this distribution name. Copy it, paste it here. Copy / this. Okay, not getting this actually right now. That simply means I have to set the path. So this much I've done here. The next thing is that click on edit, choose certificate. I already have this certificate over here, so I'm gonna be going with this. And default route, the object file name to return when viewer request the route use the instead of specific object. This okay, fine, let's not have it here. Save changes, add a domain, right? Domain is gonna be what? Images dot coding the code dot site. This one. No, let's remove it. Click on next. And this is the certificate that I have for all. Next, domain serve, add domains, and right now this is here. And what is the next thing? I already have these images, so if I go to this one, images dot coding the code dot site, right? Slash logo png, coding the code dot site slash logo png. Well, I'm not getting this. How about the previous code that I had, like URL that I had? That was this one, right? Let me run it. So it is working. I'm not routing this, right? Yeah, I'm not routing this. So I can do one thing. I have to route to this particular URL. So this is great, but if I directly go here, slash the name that I had earlier, what was that? .com slash, what was the name? File name is this. Let me paste it here and reload it. So this is not working. So ultimately, route domains to CloudFront. This thing I need to do. So ultimately, I'm asked to just simply do this. But what I will usually do, this images should be pointing to this. So let me copy it, and it should usually be CNAME type. So let me go to hosting.com. Using the file name, getting the image. That does make sense. Let's see my account. Continue. One audiobook. I think on this Gmail only I have. Continue. It turns out to be kind of right. Yeah, let's click on coding the code dot site, DNS name. And over here what I'll do, this thing is not I'm using or I'm not using, I don't know, but here I'm gonna be using this image pointing to what? It will be pointing to this particular URL, but it will not directly work. So let me select CNAME, paste it here, let me add the images over here, and let me just click on add create record. So new record will be created. That simply means now if I go to this particular URL, not allowed. Images coding the code slash logo.png should be allowed. Probably it's gonna take some time, but if I'm not wrong, https images coding the code dot site slash what is the name, URL, copy it, paste it here in enter, and here we are getting our image. So instead of accessing everything directly via directly from S3, we are using CloudFront to just simply access the images and all. Great, we are doing this. So this much is done, nothing else. So once this is done, then one more thing, if that is invalid, then what will I do? Error pages, create custom error page. If that is 404 not found, error caching, customize path. I can have proper, let me keep it now. And what happens if I do this now? Message will be sent, right? Custom error message. Control Shift D. I have it, so that's okay. But one, now I don't have this, so I'm getting this. And that is okay. Happy to know that. I mean, that is more than enough for now. And as for this error pages 404, if that is not found, and let me create one more, that's gonna be 403. Let's create, I don't know how they're gonna be just simply showing that stuff. 400. So if I make any request right now, reload the page, I'm still gonna be getting this. This is mainly useful when you are creating custom pages for them, because without the custom pages it will look really bad. Maybe later in the future I will be adding this, that this particular image is not found and all. As for right now, we can just simply go ahead, or I can just simply delete them as well. It doesn't really make any difference. Delete error page. Yeah, let's delete them. It doesn't really matter. Mainly because I don't have custom index.html, so I cannot even specify that here. And that's the problematic thing. Okay, so this seems to be done. What is the next thing? The next thing is that nothing. You have almost done with everything. We will be able to get the images using the path. What else? Nothing else, bro. What is this? Logging disabled. Would be something. It's still deploying. That's okay. Not really a big problem. Okay, this much we've done. What is the next thing? The next thing is this. Uploading it to S3 directly. And once we've uploaded, we will easily be getting the images here. Yeah, I mean, not only images, we will be getting anything. We will be getting anything. Let's see. So this much we've done. Coming back to this one, we have to upload the files to S3. So S3 SDK AWS SDK client S3. So first of all, I need to install this, so let me do that here. Stop everything, ls, and I need to go to Next.js, ls cd apps/web. Let me install everything, like not everything, just this one. So bun add this particular, so this will be added. Now the question is how to use this. Okay, so for using this S3 client, list bucket command. So ultimately overall this is how it's used. Let's go to the till the end, and over here I want to upload copy object, create a bucket has already been created, no need to do that. Create session, multiple upload, multi-part upload. What does this do? Let me check this one as well. Apart from this particular thing, delete a bucket. Okay, then list put upload part. upload part copy. What does this do? I don't know about this command, so I'd better just simply have a look at them. Let's see. The first one was this: create multi-part object command line. Okay. So what it does, and what is the response? Bucket key, upload string, upload ID. We get the ID. Use the barebone client and the command you need to make API calls. You must end of how to upload, or let's not ask to the AI, how to upload files to S3. Uploading this, how to upload local files to S3 quickly. AWS recursive. Config plugins exclude these things. It does include the bucket as well. Options gonna be access ID, access secret region. Okay, that's great. I will get them. I have them already. And the another thing is that new plugin. It was 8 years ago. How to upload files to S3 with React. So how to upload files to Amazon S3 with React and AWS SDK. So first of all, create the S3, making creating S3 bucket, making the files publicly accessible, Open the bucket, go to the AWS, navigate to its specific bucket, access permission, click on permission tab, edit policy, locate bucket policy section and click edit policy, paste JSON, copy, paste the following JSON. Okay. So version, this is statements, ASID, public, this principal, S3 list, get. So whenever we list something or whenever we get something, at that time it should be available. Save changes, review the policy and save. The policy makes all the objects in S3 bucket named your bucket name publicly accessible. So whatever is inside S3 with your bucket name, they are gonna be publicly accessible. We are not making them publicly accessible because we are using CloudFront for that. Anyone online can list and download all files in bucket and its folders. The policy should be used cautiously as it can be a security risk. Yeah. Editing course policy. Now you must enable course origin resource sharing. The course configuration written in JSON allows the client to do resource. Okay, fine. So paste the code below into paste the below JSON into enable to upload of files from front end, or you will receive course error file uploading files. So ultimately we will have to enable this as well. Allowed headers gonna be everything. Allowed methods, put, post, delete. How about just simply reading it properly? How to upload files to AWS, Amazon S3 with React and AWS SDK. Did this. Have you ever needed Amazon S3 simple storage service version 3 provides a robust and scalable solution for storing and this using the AWS SDK. This article shows how to build a React application. In this article, by the end, you will have these prerequisites: basic understanding of React and JavaScript, and AWS account with the credentials. Creating, the first thing to do is to start creating S3 bucket, making files publicly accessible. So the next step is this. So you have to just simply add the configuration, then save the changes. The policy is the risky, so keep that particular thing in mind. And then editing course policy. Now you have to edit the course policy, and then how you can edit the course policy, you will have to go to S3 bucket. So I'm already inside the S3 bucket, and once I'm inside this, so let's click on something, access point, I don't know, create access point. I think I need to click on this. course origin. uh, Over here, scroll down a bit and you will see a section where you can edit course settings. So okay, I have to do this, but before that, how did I do this particular stuff? So go to AWS S3, navigate to specific bucket, access permissions. Here we are. Inside this, click on the permission tab, click on the permission tab. Done. Then the block access bucket. I'm blocking all of them. Bucket policy, this is where I can define the bucket policy. And then what? रुक जा भाई. Hmm. Edit access permissions, click on the permission tab. Edit policy, locate the bucket policy section, click the edit policy, paste the JSON code. So click on the edit policy, bucket policy, click on edit. Once edited, you can just simply replace it all and the job will be done. Do I need to do this? No, I don't need to. So this particular thing is done. This is the overall bucket policy that I have, just simply getting it here. And if I scroll below, I'm getting this course origin sharing. This is, I have to just simply allow. So let's simply click on this so that I can upload the things here. And what I want, this course origin, scroll down a bit more, you will see this section. Once you see this section, click on editor. Once edit, allowed headers from everywhere, methods put. I can allow from specific domain as well. Allowed origins, ultimately, yeah, allowed origins can be selected ones, but right now I'm gonna be copy ayla. Let me copy it all, let me paste it all, at least for now. Later I will make it specific. Uploading files to AWS S3 bucket is now possible. Next we'll talk about the front end. npx create react file storage. File storage, never mind. Let me save changes. So this change has been saved. The next thing is that run the command below to scaffold your React application. File storage, cd file storage, npm start installing AWS SDK. Of course I need to install AWS SDK. Run the command below to install AWS SDK. Once that is installed, after that I'm gonna be getting AWS from import entire SDK optional. So this is optional, right? So I can directly get the client. So AWS SDK / client, import only the S3 client. So ultimately somehow I have to get the S3 client. Once I got the S3 client, I have to just simply allowed types JPEG, PNG, PDF, MP4, quick, did this and more. That's great. And uploading, set uploading, this is mainly for the state. Just a minute, let me be back here and go to the top. Over here, AWS client S3. So of course I'm getting the S3. So S3 client I can get easily, and I can get the bucket. So both the things are actually possible to be imported using this. Okay, fine. And at the end, what am I actually doing here? At the end, I'm getting the S3 client. So S3 bucket, your bucket name, region, your region name, and access key ID, secret access key. So these are the things that I have to just add here. AWS config update. After that, new S3, provide the parameters, provide the region. AWS client S3. Do I get the same thing here? AWS SDK client S3, right? That's the same thing if I'm not wrong. No, that's not the same thing. So in that case, I should go with this, shouldn't I? Yeah, usually. How about this ChatGPT? What this says? How to upload files on S3. Let's see what it uses. I just wanna check. 3 common ways. Upload a backend, a simple method. We are supposed to be using this. As your Node.js server receives the file and uploads it to S3. We are gonna be using this AWS SDK, and we are gonna be getting S3 client from there, and put object command. And once you got the S3 client, region, specify the region, credentials, and put object command. Credentials are gonna be these. I've got my S3. once I got my s3. After that, new this bucket is gonna be this, key is gonna be this, upload this, what key is gonna be the name, right? Body file stream, what is the file stream? fs.creator, using the image png, using the name. I will be creating the file stream. Once I have the file stream, I will be providing it here. Content type is gonna be this, amazon s3.send, and it will be sent. Second one, using multer, most common API. So using multer, upload single image, I will get it here. Once I got the request.file, after that put image here. So bucket is gonna be this, key is gonna be file.original name, and body is gonna be I will be creating the stream again using this file.path. So and then I can just simply send it. Best practices in use production. Backend generates upload URL. So AWS S3 request pre-sign up. Backend generates upload URL. So new put object, content type, get a pre-signer URL, expires in 60 minutes, return to the client. Await fetch upload put file. Recommended client backend generate upload URL, direct upload S3 CloudFront CDN. Direct generate URL. What will this URL be like? What, why should I create this? Without pre-signed URL, traditional way, client backend S3, user uploads images, images goes to Node.js server, server uploads is to S3. From backend handles large files, more server memory and CPU uses. Slower upload, higher cost. If 1000 users upload images, backend becomes a bottleneck. Okay, so with the pre-signed URL modern way, client sends a request to the backend, request upload URL. Client S3 upload directly. Client asks backend for upload URL. Generate upload URL. Backend generates the temporary S3 upload URL. Client uploads directly to S3. Put S3. Why this is better? Backend stays lightweight. Your backend only generates the URL. It never handles the file. Much more scalable. 10,000 is okay with this. Better way security. I think I'm generating the URL here as well. Am I generating the URL here? These are the things, and after that S3 region, once I have the region, I'm just simply uploading it. Put object, mostly this is used. I'm gonna be using SDK, so that's great. And put object, right? So let me go here till the end. Upload part, these are not gonna be used. The one that I'm gonna be needing, that is put object, this one. Let's simply click on this, skip to main content, end of this. Okay, so ultimately this is how I'm gonna be having the things. And at the end, new put command, I will have the input client.send command, and in the input I'm gonna be having these many things. Body multiple types accepted. New S3 client, first of all configuration for this, then input is going to be like this, metadata, object tagging, buckets enabled, this. storage class, server side metadata, key, grant, if expires, check, content type. Okay, just simply gonna ask, guide me with the steps, because of course doing it for the first time. So guide me with the steps. Oof. Client backend get upload URL. Client upload directly to the S3. Client access image via CDN or S3. Step 1, create an S3 bucket. So go to AWS, this is done already, and block public access on. This keeps the bucket private. Create the bucket. Create IAM user programmatic access. I've already done that. Access AWS access key ID, and this I already have it. And then install AWS SDK. So I'm gonna be installing two things. Install the SDK to communicate with S3. Software used AWS SDK for JavaScript. Well, let's close this. So I will have to install AWS client S3, and then AWS request pre-signer. So request pre-signer, AWS SDK request pre-signer, AWS SDK request pre-signer. So of course I have to install this. Okay, so let me copy this. Not poly request pre-signer. This should be the one. So npm install this particular thing, S3 pre-signer. So I'm gonna be installing this, and I'm gonna be installing what? S3 client get object command. Never mind. Get pre-signed URL with the client and command. You can generate a pre-signed URL from S3 client and command. Here is example. So import get signed URL. S3 client this. So I got the client. Then get object command. So I got the command. Then I got the URL using the client and command. So this is how I can get the URL. Get pre-signed URL from an existing request. Okay, what am I doing here especially? First of all, I'm installing this. That is fine, it's good to just simply install that, and mainly I need to install this pre-signer here, and that was being imported from the pre-signer itself, if I'm not wrong. So from the pre-signer only I'm getting this, and here from the pre-signer only I was getting this. So anyway, I have to install this. Okay, so let's simply paste it here. Bun add, this way I'm gonna be installing it. Okay, this has been installed. After that I have to just simply get the URL. Okay, coming back to the guide of ChatGPT. Create S3 client. For creating the S3 okay, it's gonna be back on track automatically. So coming back to this one, I mainly needed to install S3 client, and S3 client, right? Coming back to this one, S3 client should be AWS SDK client SDK from @AWS SDK client S3. If I try to get S3 client, I'm gonna be getting it like this. So this particular thing is done, and now I can create the S3 client like this. Okay, this is gonna be the configuration part. Great. So const client is gonna be equals to, or export const S3. I mainly need this over here. So export, const S3 is gonna be equals to new S3 client and then some configuration. Okay, so these are the options that I can have here, and one of them is the region. Region is gonna be something, and then I need to have the credentials. Inside credentials I'm gonna be having the access key ID, and then I'm gonna be having access secret access key, and these are the things that should be enough. Secret access key, I'm gonna be getting them somehow. Once I got them, generate I have to even, this is fine and understandable, generate upload URL. So for generating the upload URL, first of all I need to have it inside lib s3. From lib I will be getting this s3. Once I got this s3, so generate upload URL. So uploads date.now.png, fine. Command put object, so bucket name, key name, file name, whatever the file name I had. And content type. Upload URL is gonna be get signed URL s3, give it s3, give it the command and the expiration time, and return upload URL, file key, file name. So I'm gonna be returning these two. Upload a file from frontend, so frontend uses the URL returned by the backend. So frontend is gonna be using data fetch uploaded upload URL. Okay, so this thing is done. Const data is gonna be equals to await JSON. I got the data. After getting the data, await fetch data dot upload URL, data dot upload URL, put the value, send the file, uploaded. Frontend uses the URL returned by the backend. So I send a request to the backend, backend gives me the URL, and I send again a request. The frontend sends a request to the backend, signed URL. Frontend sends a request to s3 upload. So access the uploading image. If the bucket is private, you will normally serve it via CDN. So user selects file, frontend requests upload URL, backend generates s3 signed URL, frontend uploads directly to s3. Frontend uploads directly to s3, image served via CDN. Fetch method put body this, data upload URL. Where is the code when frontend uploads it? Give me this code as well. How image file is uploaded from front-end side. Ooh. Here is the complete front-end example. So front-end example is gonna be somewhat like this. Generate the URL, got the response, upload URL. So ultimately from here I will be getting the upload URL. Okay, so ultimately upload URL I get from the backend side. From the backend side I'm just simply giving me the upload URL here. Once I have the upload URL, I'm gonna be sending a request to this. Once the request gets sent, file upload. What happens step by step? Upload file directly to s3. Await fetch. Oh, when we make this request directly goes to s3. This is the upload URL. and I'm making a request directly to S3, method is gonna be put content type this, so it actually uploads it on S3. Oh my god, literally this is crazy. So what is the flow? You upload the image, you get the URL from the backend side, and now you directly upload it to the S3, and this is how I mean directly upload to the S3 from the front end side. And what happens step by step? User selects the file, browser creates the file upload. File is gonna be project profile, then front end asks backend for URL. Then I will get the URL, backend generates signed upload URL for Amazon S3. I have upload URL, I have file key, ultimately I have these things. Upload file directly to S3. So I'm gonna be uploading file directly to S3. So whatever body I get, so I'm gonna be giving the body here. Upload URL is gonna be this, something like this, okay, with the proper signature. So this way it will be uploaded. Well, there's a direct way to upload as well, but this is better. This sends the file directly to S3 browser. S3 your backend never receives the file. Important header, always include content type file dot type. So whatever file I get, so the way I'm adding it here, file dot type. So whatever file I got, where is this coming file from? This file is coming from file inputs, upload file. So as soon as I uploaded the file, at that time I had the file input. Okay, got it. If this doesn't match, one of them will reject. Okay, fine. What URL image will have after upload? The file exists in the bucket like upload. So this access URL if publicly or via CDN. So publicly is gonna be like this, via CDN is gonna be like this. Yeah, right. Using Amazon CloudFront. Real flow in production. User selects image, front end request upload URL, backend generates signed URL. Front end request upload URL, backend generates signed URL. Front end uploads file directly to S3. Okay. Backend stores file key in database. Front end uploads file directly to S3. Backend stores file key in the database. Front end loads via CDN. So file key in the sense just last URL, that kind of the last section. So ultimately whenever I'm requesting this, I will definitely get the file key here. That file key is automatically saved, right? This is the file key. Great. Overall flow is clear, nothing could be better than this. Ultimately what is happening here? You just need to understand the flow, exactly how the flow works. You can directly upload it to S3. There are two ways actually here. The flow is this, that here you are on the front end side. The first way is that directly send a request to the backend. The request will directly go to the backend, just like this. Let me make it better, like this. The request will go to the backend, and what will backend do? Backend will get the S3 client directly. Backend will directly get a put. I mean, there is something called this. If you can actually come here, put object. So if you actually click on this, so using this put object, first of all you have to configure it. Once configured, you got the client. Once you got the client, you have to just simply add the body over here and some more things, but yeah, it can definitely be done using this. So yeah, input is gonna be what? Input will contain the body, it will contain the bucket and the key. Most of the things are gonna be done this way. So once you have the input, you have to just simply give the input over here. The response will be sent and it will be uploaded. Even we will work on this, whether how it works and all. But what is happening in this case? So if you go with this way, that you are uploading directly using put. What is that put? Put object command. This one, coming back to this. So there is some command called put object command. So using these two, what you can do, you can directly upload it to the S3. So it will help you directly upload to S3. What is the response of this? The response of this is This is the response that you get the tag, you get the version. Probably you get more, but ultimately mostly you get this. Okay. uh, but what happens, this actually gets uploaded once you get this. So I think with the help of this you will be able to, ultimately it does upload it. Now the question is how you will get it, and you will get it how it got uploaded. Probably you need to save the path as well on your backend, the key ultimately, and once that's been saved, then you will be able to access that. So this is how it's gonna be working on accessing that. That's okay, fine. So file to upload. So over here, the following example creates an object if the bucket is versioning enabled, S3 returns a version ID in response. Okay. So ultimately this way you can just simply upload it. We will be exploring more of this in future, but this is one of the first way. What is the next way? Let me copy it. The next way is this, that you will send a request to the front end, backend. Backend will get the S3 client. So S3 client, it will have the S3 client, but this time it will have one more thing, and that is gonna be a request pre-signer type something. You can just pre-signer. Again, it will come from AWS side, and what it will do, it will create the URL for you. You just get the URL. Once you get the URL with you will get upload URL, of course, signed URL, plus you will get the file key, and again you will be saving this file key in the database as well, so that you can just use the file key in future. It will be sent to the front end. Once the front end actually gets that, front end will directly make a fetch request, or put request to the S3, and this using this particular URL, and that will automatically be uploaded, and the job is done. Now the next time when you want to use the same image, so again we will be using Cloudflare over here. So Cloudflare, not Cloudflare, we will be using CloudFront here, and of course using CDN we will be getting the images. So that's great. So what will happen, we will CloudFront will provide the URL to us, the basic URL, and in that particular URL I will append what? I will append the file key. How will I append the file key? Because file key is already saved in the database. Okay. This database. So file key is already saved in the database. So I will get the file key from the database. And the job is done. So this is what the overall flow is. So, okay. Instead of doing it directly, what is the best thing of doing this? The best thing is that if you go with the first way, so what happens? Your front end sends the request. Backend has to handle everything. Like backend has to handle uploading the images to the S3 directly. So in this way, what happens? If there are 1,000 clients, they will make a request. Backend will be responsible for handling all the things, and in this way, backend will go through a lot. And in this case, what is happening? When you send a request, backend just simply generates the pre-signed URL to upload on S3. Backend just simply creates the URL, sends the response back. You, from your own side, from the front end side, you are directly uploading it to the S3. So in this way, even if there are 1,000 clients, backend doesn't have to create the upload it to the S3 bucket, and this way backend handles less traffic, and backend handles creating the pre-signed request easily, because this is not a heavy task, and that's it, the job is done. Oh, come on, yeah. Okay, so I hope it does make sense. And what are we going to do now? Of course, we are going to be writing the logic for that. So first of all, this is the backend side, right? So on the backend side, I need to have these credentials. Once I have these credentials, and there is one problem now. Instead of making this, I will have a API/generate URL. So again, going to, what was the name of that? Sorry, suffering from listening is quite a lot. Okay, coming back to this one, mainly I needed to send an event, generate upload URL. So let me name it, we will do it again, it's not like this is the first time only. Generate you upload URL, upload URL, just like this. Inside this I will have this route.ts, and what will happen here, I will get the S3 client. It's better to get the S3 client inside this only, because in Next.js what happens, everything spins up when you get the what, everything spins up when you get the request and all. So this particular thing is done. Once we have the S3 client, then what we'll do, we have the S3 client, we have our files as well. We need to yeah, we need to have the files too. But what if there are multiple files? In this case we need to generate multiple URLs, as simple as that. So what I'll do here, I have to generate the pre-signed URL somehow. So let's simply make a Google search, pre-signed URL AWS. Simple. Download and upload objects with pre-signed URL. Not this particular section. AWS SDK pre-signed URL. This is what I wanted to check. So coming back to this one, what do I have to do? I have to just simply generate the pre-signed URL. So this is the overall logic going to be. So first of all, I have to install get pre-signed URL. I have to install S3 client, import S3 client, and I have to import get object command that will be responsible for creating the object, if I'm not wrong. And the second way is this, that I mean it goes through more stuff and all, but for now even we can just simply look, get pre-signed URL from existing request. I mean get a pre-signed URL with the client end command. This is done. Then get pre-signed URL from an existing request, we can get it like this. Apart from this particular thing, get pre-signed URL with headers that cannot be signed in. So ultimately we will have S3 client here, we have our put object command here, and put object command, and then pre-signed URL. So what it is doing, it is even putting it directly in the sense sending it there back to the S3 client. And pre-signed URL is gonna be this command, is gonna be put object command. Well, we are getting the command using put object command, we are not especially sending it to S3 right now, and this will work as well. So there are a number of ways, and the way ChatGPT used here earlier, that was generate URL, upload URL, not this one, the backend code, generate URL JSON, not this one. This is the fetch request. The main thing happens here. And what ChatGPT did here, ChatGPT actually got the file name. After getting the file name, it actually got the command using put object this, and then it got the signed URL using string command and this, and they simply returned. Okay, ultimately this is how it got the job done. What I want here, and what this suggests, ultimately this doc suggests, it gives us many ways, and the first way is this, that directly get the command using get object command. So you will be getting the command and get object params. So you need to have get object params. Well, we don't really have the params here. The second thing is that they are suggesting you can just simply use put object command, and you have to just simply use bucket key and checksum if you needed, but mostly bucket and key. So that's gonna be enough, and ChatGPT is doing the same thing. As for this first one, get object params, I'm not sure. Get object command I have, signed URL I have, but params, where will I be getting the params from? I have no idea. So what will I be doing? I will be going with this way, that even ChatGPT is suggesting for now. Later I will be exploring all these options really well. So bucket key and content type, I can have the content type. Content type can be anything. Content type mainly depends on the file that I get. Okay, so let's do one thing. This S3 client, I'm mainly supposed to keep it inside lib s3.ts, and then I get this. And the thing is that I'm not using one more question. should I keep S3 client inside route.ts when using Next.js? Short answer yes, but not inside the handler function. Create it once at the top of and reuse it. A recommended pattern. Just keep it at the top and then keep using this. Why this is better? Bad, good client outside the handler. Edge runtime important note. S3 client does not work in edge time, so your route must run in Node.js. Okay. Best production pattern large apps. Instead of creating in this share folder, create it inside this, and after that import it here. Once imported, and then make it reusable. So already let's make it reusable as well. So inside lib, what I'll do, I'll create something called what is the name of the file? S3 dot S3 only S3.ts. So S3.ts, this is the one that I have, and if I go to the this section, cut it from here, paste it over here, and export it from here. As for this one, I'm gonna be importing it from AWS SDK client S3. Again, I have to just add more things here, and once this is done, then cut it from here. I'm gonna be importing S3 client, so import S3 from lib S3 client. S3 from S3 client, right? So I need to import S3 right now. Coming back to this one, import S3. I need to import it from lib, but I'm not getting any option. Okay, so what can I do? Add the rate lib slash s3.js, or s3 should be enough. Lib slash s3 this doesn't seem to be working. How can I get it? Especially if I want to import this, so how do I import them? So at the rate repo UI, not really this. So let me check one thing here. At the rate lib, am I importing anything from at the rate lib slash? So I'm importing inside this only, nothing, nowhere else. And this doesn't seem to be working. Web and app lib. I think inside ts config I haven't specified this, so let me go to ts config here. At the rate everything in the current directory, everything. And on top of that, I'm not even getting the suggestion. s3.ts, I'm exporting it from here, s3 client. Coming back to this, import s3. This is the one. Alrighty, so I'm getting it here. Apart from this particular thing, it was imported like this only, so don't know for what reason I was getting the error earlier. Okay, never mind. Coming back to this, I have s3 right now, and once I have s3, so what is the next thing that I have to do? The next thing that I have to do here is you got s3, you have to import these things like get signed URL from pre-signed URL, and from client you have to get a put object command as well. And once you have the command in both, S3 client will help you get what? Once you have the S3 client, so you have to just simply pass S3 client over here. You have to create the command. Once you have the command, you will be creating the command using bucket and key. What does this key contain? This key is what? This key is the file name itself. So that's interesting. I need to have it here only. So let's get it done. So ultimately what will I be doing? Import put object. What is the name? Just a sec. Put object command. So put object command, let me import it from AWS S3 client. Once I have this, then once I merely have the file, then what will I do? Const and command, right? So command is gonna be equals to new put object command, and yeah, bucket is gonna be, there should be bucket name, and apart from this particular thing, key is gonna be the file that I have dot name. And apart from this particular thing, do I need to add anything else? Over here it is just simply asking checksum SHA-256, add the algorithm, and what does it say? Add the type. So the file that I have, that will definitely have the type as well. So content type, that's gonna be file dot type. Hopefully this is gonna be right. And this is all that I've got. Having said that, I will be just commenting this, and I wanna explore this file a bit better. So clg file to check exactly what all it contains. Yeah, it does contain the type. So it has the size, it has the type, it has the name, it has the last modified. So ultimately if I'm adding the type over here, that makes sense. So I got the command, key, content, type and all. Once I got this, so what is the next thing that I have to do? I'm taking the help of both the documentation as well as the AI, so that next time I can just directly go with the documentation. Then to get the pre-signed URL, I can get it like this, and this pre-signed URL will be valid only for till the expiration time. Okay, so let me do one thing. What did the ChatGPT name it? ChatGPT named it upload URL, and that is get signed URL. That's the same, gets S3 command and expiration time. Usually it is 60 minutes, that's fine. And get signed URL, S3 command and expiration time. Ultimately, yeah. So coming back to this one, const upload URL is gonna be get signed URL. Well, not getting that. Interesting. I have to get a signed URL. I have to import this. So get signed URL. I'm not able to import this for some reason. Never mind. Where does this come from? This mainly comes from pre-signer. So import get signed URL. Get signed URL. Nope. From @AWS pre-signed S3 request pre-signer, get signed URL. I'm gonna be getting it from here. Once I have this, I'm gonna be what it needs the client. So first of all, it needs S3 client, so I need to provide it S3, and after that it needs command, so I need to provide it command, and after this it needs some options, and over here I'm gonna be giving it expires in, and that too 60 minutes. I'm gonna be hard coding it for now. So once this much is done, then nothing else. So you had this S3 client, command, content type, get pre-signed URL with headers that should be signed. So content type, key, bucket, pre-signed URL, signable headers, new set content type. For headers that are this, you are able to add them to the set of signable headers to be enforced in the pre-signed URLs request. Pre-signed object with the okay, I think this much should be fine, and that's what AI has suggested as well. AI, come on, back to this one. It has given me these many commands, and then from here I will be getting what I'll be getting upload URL and file key. And what do I have to do here? Once I got this, I already have file key here. File key is nothing but the file name. So once I have this, const files is gonna be nothing but an const response is gonna be an array. And once I have this array, so response will contain response dot push. I'm gonna be pushing upload URL, file key. File key is gonna be what? File key is gonna be the file name. Do I have the file name over here? Not really. So file dot name. So I'm just simply gonna be pasting it here. Once I have my response, so at the end response dot JSON, and I'm just simply gonna be returning the response. So this way response is going to be returned. And as for the file name is still the same. I'm not changing the file name to anything else for now. The file name I provide here, that's the same file name that will be used on the front end side as well. In some cases this may not be the best option. Why? Because if two files have the same file name, it's gonna be hard to just simply get them. So it's better to rename it here. Renaming it here in the sense, I'm gonna be generating my own file name. So const file name is gonna be equals to, how it was generated here, uploads. Apart from this particular thing, on my S3 bucket I will be getting them directly. First of all, I don't have any folder as such, but if file name is this, then the folder will automatically be created, but my CDN will not be able to get the things from the folder. So what I have to do here, this is the bucket, and inside the bucket I don't have any folder as such. In case if I create the folder, let me go inside the bucket, let me create a folder. The folder name is uploads, server side encryption, don't specify encryption key, create a folder. Folder is created. Now I want everything to be here inside this upload folder, and I want to access everything. So suppose this file itself, I'm gonna be uploading one more file here. For now, let's simply click on add file, and that's gonna be handreg.svg. Suppose I'm gonna be uploading it inside this. So I have uploaded handreg.svg inside this. Let me close this, and handreg.svg is here. So now what is the thing? My cloud front will not be able to get it directly unless I specify the name. So if I go to my cloud front right now, AWS cloud front, so what will happen here? Cloud front is getting everything from bucket S3. It's not just getting the values from a specific folder, rather it's getting the like files from the root folder, and root folder contains everything. That simply means if I go here, and if come on, not this one, and if I enter the name, what was the name? The name was handraise.svg. Oh well, not getting that for some reason. Never mind, coming back to this one. Handraise.svg, that is actually inside uploads. So if I go to uploads, first of all, uploads, LOADS slash handles SVG. Now I'm getting it here, and this is quite fine too. Why? Because I want my CloudFront to be connected to the root folder so that it can get everything inside there. So using the folders and all, it will be able to get the values too. I can even do this thing, that this is my CloudFront distribution, and if I click on edit, default root object, by default it is this. I can even specify slash uploads is gonna be default root object. Okay, in this case what will happen, if I save changes, and this time if I go to the same, reload it, I'm still getting it. How about now? I'm not getting it, but I have made that default. So what is the issue? Not getting that. If I'm not wrong, I just changed the value here, slash uploads. So default root object, the object of file name to return when viewer requests to the root instead of the specific object. Okay, when user, sorry, this actually returns asks for the file name when the user requests to the root one, and that is okay. Let's not worry about this one. So I don't have to change it here. Somewhere I should be getting the path change, and I think that should be inside origins. So this is the S3 bucket that I'm actually using. Origins, origin groups. If I click on edit, this is the bucket that I'm using, and create new OAC. If I click on create new one, okay, cancel it. Origin path, enter a URL path to append to the origin domain name of origin request. Enter the origin path. What should be the path? Slash uploads. This is gonna be the path. Let me save changes. Let me come here and reload the page. Still not getting that. That simply means even that does not work. I thought that would work. For now, it does work. Look, what happened right now? I just simply changed the origin path, and now the origin path is slash uploads. That simply means CloudFront is listening the CloudFront's URL. That simply this particular URL. This is equivalent to the same URL slash uploads. So this URL references to this URL slash uploads, and because of that thing I'm getting everything inside the upload. So that's all. That's what I actually wanted. Okay, so this thing we have done, and coming back to this one, right now this SVG inside upload folder, and I'm getting it, I'm able to access this using the URL only. So what is happening here, if I try to get index.html right now, sorry, not index.html, logo png, I will not be able to get that. So if I come here, logo with bg.png, I will not be able to get, because it is mainly looking for the things inside uploads folder. So this particular CDN distribution that I have created, it is looking for the files inside slash uploads folder, and there's only one logo, SVG, right? And because of that hand SVG, and because of that thing, it is gonna be returning me this. Okay, that's fine. What is the next thing that I have to do? Okay, I have done this much, and coming back to this, as for the file name should be slash uploads. That's okay, because I do want to upload it inside slash uploads, and apart from this particular thing, I don't even need to do this. Why? Because I will directly be able to access the files. So the file name should only be what? I'm specifying the bucket I'm specifying the key. Key is gonna be what? Key is gonna be just the file name. Hopefully I can specify the folder. No. What to do if I want to save files inside uploads folder in S3? I'm getting the file. The key will actually contain the name, so folder path is going to be here. So the file name, there is a difference between them. So the key can be this, but at the end I will be only storing the file name in my database, because I can access the file just with the file name. Okay, so bucket uploads and this, that's fine. So as for the file name is gonna be nothing but some what? For the file name I'll say date.now, just like this, .png. PNG, really? Okay, plus what? Plus and plus it should be the file that I have, file.type. What is the type of the file? The type of the file is video. Oh. So what will I be doing here? Simple stuff. I will get it checked by the AI, but let me do one thing. Files.type dot split by slash, and I have to get at the value at the first index. So type is possibly undefined. It is there. File is possibly undefined. What is the problem? Object is possibly undefined. Ultimately file object is possibly undefined. If not file, return from here. This is not the problem. Rather, if not files, return from here. I have the type. The thing is that what ChatGPT is doing here, if I come back to this one, it is just simply adding the name in the upload, that format, but this is, it is not guaranteed, right, कि only PNG files I'm gonna be uploading. So I will be uploading different kinds of files. In that case, whatever file uploaded, I can even do it like this, or even better. I think it definitely contains file.type dot split. I should be able to do it. Okay, it does work. The problem with not is, and I'm gonna be getting the value at the first index, so it is working. The problem with this date.now and So I will get the value of date.now and slash or not dot this as well. So this should be fine, shouldn't it? So date.now dot file dot type split by split and get the value of the first index. So this way I will be able to get the file name with the proper extension, and once I have that, then the file key is gonna be slash uploads plus file name slash upload slash file name. This is how it's gonna be going ahead, and the content type is gonna be a file dot type. Is that so? That's fine, I'm okay with that. So I have this much, and I'm gonna be even checking the logs. So clg file name is gonna be equals to file name, just like this. And apart from this particular thing, that's fine. Then upload URL. So once I have the command, I will get the upload URL. I'm gonna be getting the upload URL like this. Once I have the upload URL, I'm gonna be pushing it to here. So this is gonna be the response result, or I can say upload result. Upload result is gonna be inside this, and at last I'm gonna be returning this only. So the upload URL and file name. So even this particular thing, file key, I have to send the file key to the front end. So file.name, should it be enough? Not really. This time it should be file name that I have here specifically. This should be used everywhere actually. File so slash uploads file name, whatever file name I had, and similarly this file name should be here and this file name should be here. So I got my file name. Once I got file name, logging that, once logging that, even adding it here, once I did here, then simply doing it like this. And I can go with this format as well, like actually keeping n capital over here. That is even fine. File name like this. So already once this much is done, what is the next thing? I have my upload result. Once I have them, I'm just simply gonna be sending the upload result to the front end part, and this time this JSON will contain this, right? Upload result. Okay. JSON format of upload result, I'm sending it. Upload result is gonna be nothing but an array. That's understandable. Fine with this. What is the next thing that I want to do? By the way, this upload result is gonna be actually an array. So upload result dot this upload what to name the array where I am saving upload URL and file key. Upload files. Okay, let's name it upload files. So coming back to this one, upload result, control D wherever I have this upload files, and I'm gonna be returning the upload files. So this is how I'm gonna be going ahead. One thing that I have to do here, that is I got my file name. Once I got my file name, I have to save it in the database, and this needs to be saved in the database of that particular user. you are sending this file name here, right? So as you are already sending this file name here to the front end side, so using this file name you will have saved the things, that's right. And once you have these file names, using this file name you can easily get the things anytime. So it doesn't really make any difference whether you just save it in the database or not. So let's go with let's be fine with this. So ultimately I have this overall code written that simply uploads on where it uploads the files on Udemy, Udemy S3, Amazon S3, and I have to check whether it actually works or not. For that thing I will have to add the types. I have to go to the lib and s3.ts in this particular section. Let's add the proper region. What is the proper region for this? The proper region is ACI specific Mumbai. So let me select this AP South 1. So this is equals or I can do one thing. I'm inside Next.js, and in Next.js we can have environment variables, local, okay, region or AWS REGION. Region is gonna be AP South 1. This is the first thing. What is the next thing? This is done. And the another thing is that sorry, but can't really do anything. The another thing is that access key ID and secret access key. AWS access key ID. So AWS access key ID and AWS secret access key. Secret access key. So as for the access ID, I have them here, but let me get them. So for that thing I need to open one more tab. I need to go to home page. I am and let's go to users. Let me select this one and create access key, access secret, okay, security credentials, active key, okay, this is the one. Let me click on this, deactivate, edit description. So I can either deactivate it or I can edit the description. Okay, let me do one thing. Yesterday I downloaded it actually, so no need to worry about this. Where is that? Within the AWS access key, you know. So of course I'll have to stop sharing the screen right now, and let me simply copy paste the credentials, nothing else. So the first one is the access ID. Copy it from here and paste it inside VS Code, and similarly I have my access secret. So access secret is this, copy it, paste it inside environment variable. So I have access key, second one is AWS access secret access key. What are the names here? Access key ID, secret access key, access key ID. What are the names? That's crazy names. Okay, by the way, this thing is done, and as it is done I can just simply close this and let me start sharing the screen again. Quit it and coming back to this thing, let me close this thing as well. So yeah, overall things are done. So in this case what can I do? I think for getting the environment variables I do it like this only. So if I go to my auth client, not auth client actually, ST client is okay, that's fine. Okay, I'm getting the environment variables inside package because over here I have auth. So index.ts, am I getting the environment variables over here? Okay, not really. So I think it should be inside then db. This is mainly for auth, and when it comes to auth, what are environment variables I have? Inside db I do have MongoDB URI. And how am I getting this? Process.env MongoDB URI. Yeah, that's in the same way. So let me get them the same way. Hopefully I will get them here. So process.env dot region, I mean GEION. Oh, this is the right one. And then process.env dot AWS access key, AWS access key ID, and similarly process.env dot AWS secret access key. The problem with them is that undefined is not assignable to type string, so they can be undefined, and either I can specify them like this, that they do exist. Yeah, that's fine, understandable. So this is how it's gonna be going on, and once this is done, then what is the next thing? I should be able to make a request to this particular route, and when the files arrives, the file should be getting uploaded, and then the file should not be getting uploaded, rather I should be just getting the signed URL, and using the signed URL, when I make a fetch request, the files get uploaded. Okay, got it. Let's see. So if I send a request from here to what, API slash generate, what do I want to generate? I generate upload URL. Okay, fine. Generate upload URL. I already have the files. Let's simply send a request. Wait for a while, and it crashed. Maybe it was not running, probably, I'm not sure. Let me send the request again. Will I ever get the result or not? I don't think so. So it has just started. It has just started. It hasn't even compiled, but I'm running it on, yeah, WebSocket only. It needs to be compiled. Ready, compiling, and it did it. These are the file names. 2 files I actually uploaded, and on the front end side I actually got what? I actually got upload URL is nothing but an object. File key is this. So ultimately I'm getting the file key. That simply means they are the file names, and upload URL. This is problematic. This is just an object. So for some reason the upload URL I'm not getting. CLG upload URL. It's gonna be upload URL, and let's see it one more time. Don't really have any other option, so let me send the request again, and pending. Got it. Let me await it here, and this time let me send it again, and I'm getting this particular upload URL. And once I'm getting, this is mainly valid for 60 minutes. But what is the next thing? The next thing is that I have to directly upload it on S3. So instead of asking to the AI how to upload to S3 using pre-signed URL, uploading objects with pre-signed URLs. Using pre-signed URLs to upload files to Amazon S3. We have allowed them. Even they have given the whole code actually. Never mind. Let's focus on what we are doing. So ultimately upload URL method should be put and body should be file. So I have to give it the body as well. Body in the sense the whole body. Okay. So let's do one thing. I have to send two things, right? Coming back to this, I have to send a request to this particular URL. So this is gonna be the URL right now. And as for the body, so I think this one supposed to be the body. So if I go to the body raw, and I replace this. So if I send a request right now, that's gonna be a put request. What will happen? The bucket you are attempting to access must be addressed using specified endpoints. Please send all future requests to this endpoint. Eh? First of all, let me go with directly with this. So I got the upload URL, put headers content type file. File means what file? Event.target.files. So the file that I had at the beginning. So I have the URL, I have the method, I have everything, and then I have to send the file in the body. Sending the file in the body. It is only possible from which side? From the front end side, because on the front end side I will get the file. It needs everything, whatever files I get. Okay, so that simply means, coming back to this one, I think permanent redirect, I need to specify them properly. Let's work on the front end side, and when we are working on that, then we'll see whether it actually works or not. For now I don't really think it's possible to. Yeah, I have only one, so I have to send the file. This much is not enough actually. In the body I mainly have to send the file, and body is gonna be I can send the file. So when I get the response back, so what I have to do, I have to somehow send the file. That's it. And files.0, so like the file at the 0th index, I have to send one file. Two files I cannot send them send at the same time. And that should be the part of the body. Okay, so because I selected the first one, so I'm gonna be going with this. And coming back to this, let me make a request again. The The bucket you are attempting to address must be specified in point. Please send all future requests to this point. Yeah, this is the problem. First of all, when I'm specifying this key over here, that key itself is wrong. There should be only uploads. Otherwise, I will face the issues. Upload URL. Body will contain the file. I need to have the file over here since the file to directly S3 using that particular URL. So what am I supposed to be doing right now? I'm gonna be working with only one file for now, and upload URL should be somewhat like this. So whenever I'm specifying the name here, that name itself contains just file input generate. Okay, let me do it like this. I have this upload. I will get the URL. Once I got the URL, okay, this is fine. I will definitely get that. Once I got the URL, I will try to upload the same file. So what I have to do, coming back to this one, Control A, remove it. http//localhost 3000. What? Yeah, 3000 I think. Are you sure? Hopefully. And then generate upload URL. This is gonna be a post request, and there's gonna be this file. Apart from this particular thing, let me send a request. Server action not found. Interesting. First of all, where is this actually running? It is already running on port 3000, but the path that actually generate okay, API upload URL, API/upload URL. Let me send upload files. I'm being returned upload files. This should actually be files here. And now let me send the request. So I'm getting it this, and once I have this, I'm gonna be copying the whole link from here. Control C. I already have the key. I'm gonna be pasting it here. This should be put file. It is already there. Let me send it. The bucket you are trying to attend, blah, blah, blah. Please send all the future requests to this. Okay. This is the end point. Send the request. Only one auth mechanism allowed. Only X query parameter, signature query strings, or authorization header should be specified. Authorization bearer this hosted ID. Oh. Why am I being asked to use this endpoint? You are being asked to use this endpoint because S3 buckets are region specified and sometimes requires regional endpoint instead of global one. So this is due to this. So why AWS asked for this so AWS expects you to request to the regional endpoint, something like this, instead of generic one. the default upload URL was like this, then I got this message. देखते हैं क्या होता है. I mean definitely send the request. You are getting this error because the URL region does not match the bucket region. The URL you used, this uploads region AP South uploads bucket, but your bucket is not in that region. My bucket is not in that region. The error message tells that real region is uploads southeast to AP Southeast S3. Endpoint. This means your bucket uploads is actually in AP South to Sydney. So AWS tells you use this endpoint instead. Bucket. It's in Mumbai. As it is in Mumbai right now, then coming back to this one, when I specify the libs here inside S3 from S3 process.env dot region. Let me check my environment variables first of all. Environment variables, AP South 1 I have, AWS region. If this is the region I have, AP South 1, AP South 1, that's the same one I'm supposed to be having. So what is the issue? I mainly have to get the value of the region here, right? Sorry, AWS region, region, just like this. Coming back to this one, if I restart my server now and come back here, send the request to http://local host 3000/API/generate URL upload URL. This is gonna be post, and the files gonna be uploading this file. Files, because that's the same name I'm listening to. Okay, fine, send it. Got this particular URL, copy this URL, paste it over here, put, send the request again. I'm getting this particular I'm trying to send it here, but it is simply saying that bucket is not here. Bucket name, seriously. Bucket, sorry, this is my first time working with the things. So messed up a lot, but okay, never mind. What is the bucket name? Control C, Control V. This is the bucket name. This should be fine. Let me send the request again. Generate URL. This should actually be a post request. got this, control C, control V, make it put, send it again. Only one auth mechanism allowed. Only let me know about this error as well. What does this mean? This error happens because they received two authentication methods in the same request. Servers involved. Only one pre-signed URL or authorization here. Am I sending authorization? Sorry for that. Coming to this one, and headers, params, authorization, bearer token, let me set it to no auth. And now if I send a request has request has expired. I think it's around a minute. Okay, let me make it post. Control C, control V, put. User ARM username Vipendra is not authorized to perform S3. Yeah, got it. Slowly getting closer. So S3 put object on resources. So ARM meeting app bucket uploads, because I did it was into the S3 put object action. So what I have to do, I have to go here and I have to select the user again. Once I selected the user, let me go inside that, of course. Let me click on add permissions, attach directly, put object, what is the name of this? Put object S3. So S3 put object S3 Amazon S3 full access. Let me give it the full access. Next, add permission. Permission is added. It will tell again that it has expired or something. Send the request. Request has expired. So ultimately that is 60 seconds. 60 seconds. Within 60 seconds. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, understandable. This one, let's send the request one more time, and this time let's see what's gonna happen. Let me make it a post request. Send, got the URL, copy it, paste it, put, send it. What happened? This time not getting any result. Upload files. Why am I not getting any result? JSON 200. Okay, that means it worked. Oh yeah, it worked. I'm not getting result, that's fine, but it worked. Coming back to this, so over here, reload it, refresh. Hooray! Whatever, I did it. I got my MP4 file here, and let's click on this, copy URL. I will not be able to access this directly if I'm not wrong. Yeah, I'm not. But if I try to access the same file using, let's copy the name. I'm gonna be accessing the file using CDN. So HTTPS. What is the name? HTTPS. Images. I named it images. That's crazy name. But okay, name images. I will be making it. I will be changing the coding the code. What domain name? Coding the code dot side slash this. This is the download option. I'm getting the option to download it. Oh bro, video. This has been downloaded. Let me see. But I downloaded that, didn't I? Yeah, it finished as soon as it got downloaded. But okay, never mind. Anyway, I'm getting that. But this should not be the case. I should be able to see the video. Why am I getting the option to download? Oh, that's interesting. Coding the code dot site slash and rage dot svg. This thing is done. And if I have the video here, what is the video? The video is this. So if I copy this, if I paste it here, enter. Why am I getting the option to download? Let me upload an image this time. So what will I do? One step back. Post, body. I uploaded it before, right? Let me select this and logo with PNG. Let's upload this. Upload it here. I think it has a lot of what? The size is too much. Not size, something is wrong with that definitely. I want an image. Red button. Record. Okay, let's upload this one. Upload it. Okay, this is uploaded. We'll go to the files and post, upload. Got the URL. Copy the URL. Paste it over here. Make it put. Send it again. It's been uploaded. And come back here. General. S3. Refresh it. Got the PNG. Copy it. Slash PNG. Why am I getting the option to download? Literally. I'm not able to see that too. That simply means something is wrong with the formatting stuff and all. Whew, I'm not able to see that clearly. Interesting. How to preview the image? It is somehow getting uploaded, this, but I'm not sure whether it's exactly the same. So inside uploads, I got this one. Yeah. And why is that happening? First of all, this name is generated here. File name, file type. I'm not using file name anywhere. And what I should ideally do, uploads file, push upload URL. File name is fine, file key, real file name. It doesn't really matter. because I'm specifying the file name over here. So at the end, lastly, what you have to do, fetch response data upload URL, method is gonna be put, body is gonna be the same body, and that body itself contains many things. Ultimately, this is the problem, if I'm not wrong. Okay, I hope I haven't been disconnected. I have been, I haven't. So what I was saying here, that I'm directly trying to give this file to this. What I'm doing, I'm directly trying to send this file, and this should be the body. So this is the only problem that is being caused here, and I think it should be solved when we actually send upload it using front end section. So hopefully at that time I will not be facing this particular issue. How long has it been, by the way? I hope, am I audible? Hello, hello, hello.
Let me just send it.
Am I audible?
Good, so I have this input block. So
Yeah. Okay then, what is the next thing? The next thing is to just simply continue with the stuff. So hopefully this will work as expected, and once done with this, what is the next thing that I will be doing here? Close this, close this. The next thing is that actually testing it in action. Testing it in action means go to meeting, components, panels, chat, and chat panel. Here we are. These were the steps that we had to follow. This was the overall message, and we have chat message, we have chat input. We are simply working with the chat input section right now, and working with this I have files and all these things I have. And after that, send a request to the backend to save the image. Instead of doing this, I have my files over here. Files contains everything. Okay, once I have the files here, what is the next thing that I have to do? I have to loop through the file. Once looped through them, let's get form data. Form data is gonna be new form data. Once I have this form data, so const for of file. I want to check whether I get the files or not. I definitely get the files. So file. Once I got the file, CSV file. Let me check this thing as well. Handle input check. Alrighty, just give me a second. I have to just receive a parcel. I'll be back after a minute. Until then, I'm gonna be catching up soon. Take care. Let's see. Alright everybody, that was it for now. I have to do something, kind of received a password, so I have to check exactly whatever I got, exactly that's the same thing or not. So I'm gonna be catching up soon after 10 minutes or something.